Resume recording. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Cardano Q&A. We are half an hour, 45 minutes later today because there's a meeting clash that's going to probably run from now on. So it might be that I start these calls, these workshops at, what is it, 9 UTC. So 10 UK time, 9 UTC. And we've got a few topics to cover today. We're going to kick off by looking at a starter. I don't have any brand new news on them, Paul. Other than that, they're still building, still developing. One exciting bit of news that I personally have felt all along is related to a starter, although no one has verbalized it to me, is that they are strongly tied with Emergo, and Emergo were releasing USDA, which was the US stablecoin, fiat-backed stablecoin, and now they hit sort of regulatory concerns, and so they've handed the USDA project over to another organization to run it, and that is kicking back up again. So I suspect that may lead to the token launch of the A starter token, AA, or Loom. I'm not sure which they've settled on yet, because they had their rebrand from A starter to Lumino for about a fortnight and then rolled it back again. So whether the token follows the new or the old, I'm not quite sure yet, but I'll call it AA from now, and we'll work until we know otherwise. So AA token, I reckon, is probably waiting for a launch in correlation with USDA in some way, shape, or form. But I can't say that for certain. One thing I did want to look at on the news that USDA is perhaps back kicking off again is have a quick look at the DeFi dashboard for stable coins and see if there's any sign of USDA on there yet. I don't think there will be because this is third-party data rather than from source. But you never know with the movement of tokens. Things are always in the way. Try that down there. Movement of tokens, whether that will result in flip-flopping or changing or flipping of positions of dexes and apps that hold a large amount of liquidity on Cardano. And one thing I can never do is find the filter for chains on here, so I always have to scroll. Anyway, this is looking at the Cardano ecosystem. And if we have a look at stable, so we've got JED with most liquidity as a stable coin on Cardano. That's $13.2 million worth, which is an algorithmic stable coin pegged to the dollar. USDM, which is the fiat-backed stablecoin built by community members, has not hit DeFi Llama yet, it looks like. And there's no sign of USDA on here. But we do have a starter as a project sitting in number 15 in terms of liquidity on Cardano. They're holding $1.1 million worth. Some protocols are excluded from the chain TVL. I don't know whether that's saying that A starter is excluded yet or not. But yeah, they have accrued certainly a certain chunk of dollar value, I think, in preparation for liquidity for their DEX. So it's already forming part of the liquidity on the DEX, but I think there's some allocated for USDA, which will appear at launch as well. So the DEX itself is up and running, working on mainnet. It's fairly typical in terms of what we've seen so far in terms of generation 1 DEXs on Cardano. Have we got any real tokens on it yet? No, still not. So yeah, the DEX really isn't functional. I mean, it is functional, but it's not got liquidity in terms of other tokens or anything like that. Most of them are pairs of test tokens. So yeah, nothing, no trading's going on here, certainly. Excuse me. The other stablecoin while we're here, actually, I know it's not related to A-Starter, but I like to look at it when we think of it. Go to Charlie 3. Just to see what volume. So USD JED stablecoin was 13 million. So I think the largest stablecoin by far. Actually, I'm surprised that synthetic stablecoin doesn't show up on here from Indigo, because I'm sure that's got a fairly large degree of liquidity as well. Oh, Indigo. So that's their full collateralized debt position. So a chunk of that, a significant chunk of that will be IUSD, synthetic fiat stablecoin. But in terms of actual individual stablecoin capital, I'm not sure what that portion is. Speak portal on Charlie 3, and we can have a look at USDM is now sitting at 4.8 million, which is great. So we've got a good amount of liquidity flowing in. It seems to be doubling every couple of weeks, which is great. So we could be approaching JED's liquidity, certainly. JED's capital volume shortly. But yeah, project's doing well. Glad to see it. Still hoping to hear out definitive details on A-Starter. A lot of my words are just speculation, but yeah, I'm not fearful still. It's on the way. It's just not happened yet. I didn't post that link to DeFi to Discord to actually launch the call. So apologies if anyone's missed it until now. Your other question, Paul, was around I forgot myself already. We're going to look at AGIX token, aren't we?
Yep, AGIX.
So I don't know whether Singularity Net have a independent website for just around their token. But the oops, I have a website problem. Is that me? I think they are. Not a good look. Okay. It's healthier. So this is their staking platform for AGIX. Returns, when I looked at them, weren't spectacular, so I didn't bother with it. But you can have a look, certainly. Half the problem with it was I couldn't figure out an easy way what the returns would be. So if you staked 1,000 ADA, it's like 1.449. I know.
And that says Ethereum. That says Ethereum above it. So I wasn't sure if it was ADA AGIX or whether it was like the Ethereum backed one.
Yeah, this is, I think their staking platform is on Ethereum. But if you hold the AGIX token either on Cardano or on Ethereum, you can participate in staking just by bridging the token over. So there's no limitations in what's open to you in terms of their ecosystem, whether you're on Cardano or Ethereum. But I live in the Cardano world, as do most people follow this call. So it's just easier to deal with things that are native to the chain rather than having to bridge or anything like that. So yeah, that's up and available. I was hoping there'd be something off here to talk about the um, merger with Reach and Fetch, which are other very large artificial intelligence based coins on other ecosystems. I'm not even sure which chains they're on. Let's have a quick look together. See if we can find a Medium post on it or something. I think the new token's called ASI or something. Good. So Fetch and Ocean and Singularity are merging to create a new super AI coin. Uh, which is the FET token from Fetch, AGIX from SingularityNet, and Ocean from Ocean Protocol are merging to create ASI. This article is from July 1st, so fairly recent. So I don't know if they're doing an automated system or not, or whether it'll involve bridging or our tokens over to a new chain that then will swap our AGI tokens for ASI. But it looks like certainly centralized exchanges like Coinbase won't be doing any automated swapping of the tokens. So there, I imagine it will probably end up just being a DApp, an app that launches that lets you take your Cardano AGI and swap it for. And this is the other thing I'm not entirely sure whether it's just going to reside only on that new chain, whichever one they choose out of the three that are involved in, or whether it's going to be each of those will be distributed back to our own preferred native chains. I wouldn't mind swapping AGI for ASI if I can hold it on the Cardano chain. If then it locks me out from Cardano's use cases, then I'll be a bit disappointed. So yeah, still a lot murkiness about it really. Reddit might have some latest news, but I don't. You have to do a fair amount of due diligence just on what people write on Reddit.
Like you say, it's early days.
Yeah, I think we'll get more clarity over time, but at the minute, a lot of it is just rumor and hearsay. It looks like. So yeah, hold fire. Nothing to do yet, I don't think. On that one. Cool. Does that answer those questions? In which case, this one was particularly useful to Dinesh because he was the one who turned me on to this next opportunity. Cornucopias is a metaverse game, 3D environment, huge 3D environment, where anybody can jump in and play and live, buy real estate, buy jets and bubble jets and deck their house out with decor and artwork and furniture and all sorts in the future. And the game, because it's such a large, massively multiplayer online game, has a whole load of digital assets correlated with it. So when someone is starting to play the game or join the universe, or multiverse, whichever you want to define the gaming experience as, will have to download a whole load of these digital assets like you would with any other large game, like Fortnite or Half-Life or any of the Steam family of games are all fairly chunky. So you need lots of drive space, etc., just to play it. And obviously, if you're distributing that volume of data to all these different machines around the world to then be able to play their games locally, it takes a significant amount of network resource. So cornucopias have come up with an innovative solution for this, so that they're not having to centralize all that infrastructure of file distribution, etc., by creating a range of NFTs that were put up for sale a year or so ago, called file nodes. And in the file nodes system, you can uh, use your file node NFT to give you a license to host files for the game. Once you set yourself up as a host for those files, then people who come to download the game will be routed to you and several other node providers to download those files. And as a result of you providing bandwidth and drive space for storing the game files, you'll be rewarded with a token. And I think that'll probably be paid out in Copy tokens. I haven't heard anything to say otherwise. So you can sort of increase your Copy holdings by operating a file node. And interestingly, the NFTs were sold for did look this up and I didn't make a note of it. It was a bit crazy. And I think it was like a quarter of what the floor price is now. So at launch, if you'd bought the file nodes, then you'd be up 4x on them. So if I have a quick look on JPEG Store, which is the largest NFT marketplace. File nodes not on here. I thought they were. I'm sure I just saw them the other day. File node access key. That was, wasn't it? There we go. So yeah, the floor price is now 983 ADA. So if you wanted to buy into one of these, so you could operate a file node, significantly more expensive than it was to get in at the start. So Dinesh will be happy, as am I. Thank you, Dinesh, for pointing me towards them. So if you wanted to participate, you have to buy a NFT. Then you also need to buy what was it? A certain amount of Copy tokens as well per NFT and per file node you want to run, up to a maximum of I think it was 3,000 Copy per NFT. See if I can find it just on here. No, I don't think so. Yeah, so I think it's 3,000 Copy tokens to pair with your file node. And then obviously you need some drive space and you'll need to have a decent internet connection so that people can download those files from you. But once you do that, then you'll be having a passive income of Copy tokens, Copy tokens by actually providing physical infrastructure to the network. So there's, a big move to deepen in the, the buzzword of the era is deepen, decentralized physical infrastructure or physical network provision projects. And so Copy file nodes are kind of forming part of that, are joining part of that ecosystem. So I bought some of these file nodes at the time. And if you are interested in, or if you have any yourself, then what you want to do is come to cornucopias.io, log into their platform. Or if you haven't logged in before, then create an account. Don't have two-factor authentication. Like, and that was for this. No, that's the JPEG store. I don't need to do that one. So once you're into the into their account system, under account, you'll have this. It'll show you based on what game assets you hold, what NFTs you bought in the past. It'll show you what access to the beta for the game you have. So whether you're allowed to launch it, play it. If I was on a Windows machine, then it will let me play the game as well. So if you do want to get in and play it yourself now, it's actually up for grabs if you have some of their game assets, and you can connect your wallet, which holds your NFTs, and then register your NFTs into the platform, and that will grant you your sort of access to the game at various different levels. And in here, in this menu under your account, you'll have manage nodes as well. So if you've got some of the file node NFTs, you can come and register them in here, connect your wallet, wait for your wallet to refresh. It'll show you the balance of nodes, number of nodes that you have, and how much Kopi tokens you need to run the nodes that you do have. So if I had 5, it would be 15,000 as well. Anything above 5, you don't have to pay more for, but it's 3,000 per node. And then you can click this button, which would have said registered before. And then once you're registered your file nodes, at the moment, you don't have to provide any physical drive space and share those files yet. They're just doing a sort of staking mechanism for it. So you will potentially be getting rewarded just for registering your file nodes at this stage. And then as the program progresses, you'll get instructions for actually starting up running some software on your local machine, downloading the game files into them, and then serving them back out to the network. And this is a great way of using your community to and their spare compute and drive space power to distribute really large game files, or any kinds of large files, and reward your community for being able to for providing that service. So it's great to have an inclusive ecosystem. That's what I really like about it. So that is the Cornucopias project. If you want to read a bit more about it.
What sort of size computer are you talking about, Jonathan, running this on?
I haven't downloaded the game on my machine, but I imagine probably you want to look at 100 gig or something, sitting spare, to hold the game assets, and then decent internet connection, with decent upload is the more important thing. So you don't try and do it with 5 meg or something up, but 10, 20, 25 upwards would be ideal. And if you've got uncontended and parallel distribution, that's even better, which is more sort of corporate broadband connections, internet connections. So yeah, if you've got space at work server, for example, that might be an idea. Speak to the boss. But yeah, nothing too taxing, I can't imagine. But the drive space, games can be sort of 50, 100 gig quite easily. So I'd put that aside and see what you can do. Meanwhile, if you've got this file node NFT set up, you've got it registered, you can earn some Kopi tokens as well. If you want to earn Kopi tokens in other ways, you can stake to their pools. So actually load up that one. Quick look. They have 2 stake pools now. One is Kopi and one is Kopi C. If you stake with Kopi, then you just earn normal ADA rewards. So it's the same as just staking with Fluid Pool. I think they take 5% margin though, so it's not as competitive as some of the other community pools. Fluid Pools is 2.9%. So that's the fee that we take to run the infrastructure. Kopi Pool takes 5% to run their infrastructure. However, if you stake with Kopi C, they will actually not give you ADA rewards, but they will give you they'll give you the equivalent of your ADA rewards in Kopi tokens plus another 4%. So you'll effectively get 1.04 times the amount of rewards by staking with Kopi C pool than you would just with Kopi. that is returned to you in Kopi tokens, though, not in ADA tokens. And you do actually have to go and collect the Kopi tokens from drip drops. Um, and obviously, when you're claiming your drip drop tokens, you are paying a small transaction fee and fee to the drip drops platform when you do that as well. So do some maths, do some figuring out, stake a chunk to Kopi C, and you may do well. I was staking with Kopi pool, just to keep an eye on the project as a whole because I'm interested in it, and I've flipped that over now to Kopi C to participate there. If you want to look at the saturation levels on those pools, you can come to my favorite blockchain explorer, pool.pm, laid on by Smaug Pool, SMAUG, if you're looking for someone to stake to. Good guy in the space. And you can look for Kopi, and that will pull up the Kopi pool and Kopi C. So Kopi C has got 18.8 million ADA staked to it now. It's taken that 99% margin. So all your ADA rewards are being taken by the cornucopia's game. But they will in return give you the equivalent of the ADA earned plus 4% in Kopi tokens. The pool is 25% saturated, so they can get 4 times larger before their rewards start to diminish. Let's jump and have a look at the Kopi pool itself. And that's down now to 11.1 stake to the pool, which is about 15%. And then you can see that 5% margin. So they're taking 5% of ADA rewards to pay for the infrastructure on their pool. And then, of course, while we're here, quick glance at Fluid Pool, which most people listening to this call are staked with. We are 0.5%. It's not even hitting 1% of saturation, which would be great to get more delegators to the pool with higher ADA bags, so that we can see these staking returns more consistently. We'll probably stake minting blocks every 2 or 3 epochs at the moment. That's 5 to 15 days. Sorry, 10 to 15 days. An epoch is 5 days. And we take 2.9% to run our infrastructure costs. And we've dropped our fixed costs down to 170 ADA from the original starting one of 340. So yeah, the Kopi C is at 170 as well. And that 170 is taken out of the first of the rewards from the first block in an epoch. So if you have multiple blocks in an epoch, there are slightly higher rewards for those subsequent blocks for delegators. And that is the one small loss in terms of staking with a small pool versus a large pool. Other than that, your returns are, identical. So yeah, I don't know what that equates to be, but it's probably something like, 10 ADA over a year on a 1,000 ADA stake, something like that. Pretty minuscule difference. Right. That is cornucopias. And this blog article, again, I'll put into the links on Discord, so anyone wants to catch up on this can go through it. Any more questions that's raised, Paul? You're the only one on the call today because we started late.
The only other one I saw, which was obviously good news, is ADA's actually, I think, is up 10% over the week. I saw on CoinGecko.
Yeah, it's having a little bit of a rise after that eye-watering dump. So yeah, hopefully we've bounced off the bottom now on the way back up. So back up to 40 cents, which is great. And in the past 7 days, that's a 24% rise. So yeah, really pretty healthy, especially in comparison with the rest of the network, where we've done the best out of the top 10. Even though we're still not in the top 10 quite. Dogecoin bumped us and Toncoin have bumped us as well. But actually by 24-hour volume, Cardano is done better than Ton even. So that's good to see. There is lots of that on-chain activity and exciting things on the horizon as well. So yeah, I'm you know uh, we have altcoin season after we hit but Bitcoin's all-time high. We've had Bitcoin's all-time high. We're waiting for the wider crypto ecosystem to really kick off. But I suspect that will again sort of follow um, the typical Bitcoin cycle, and we're really not expecting to see real surges and all-time highs until next year. But we'll hope to start to see some good activity by September, October, something like that this year. Is my best guess. But yeah, we'll see if that plays out according to, because you never know if the future will be the same as the past. But let's hope it does as well or better. That'd be great.
Just one other one, obviously, Dinesh, obviously kindly put you onto Cornucopia. Is there anything else that you're keeping an eye on that you could share?
um, in the gaming space, obviously, there's Machiavellic. And in fact, last couple of calls you haven't managed to make, I've pointed out a couple of new teaser videos from them. They've got some gameplay on the way that we'll be able to do from within our cryogenic chambers. I want their Twitter. That's the quickest way to get there. So if you haven't seen these vids yet, they're worth a quick watch. That was at the top. I was in a call with Fletcher, their community manager, last weekend, and we were talking over the tokenomics for the game. Because you have the Mac token, which is the one that's really hard to get hold of, and that's the one that we've got as early OGs in the Machiavellic space. And so there will be no way of getting hold of those Mac tokens other than by playing the game in the hardcore zone, where you're actually risking losing your game assets. There'll be a secondary marketplace for buying them, I'm sure, like anything else, so we can sell ours. But in terms of getting hold of more, you have to be a gamer, really, which is exciting. And so as an additional mechanism for incentivizing gameplay and rewards and so on and so forth, they've got tiers coming along. And there's not much being publicized about the tiers token as of yet. But yeah, lots of discussions are going on, and I'm being party to some of them, so it's exciting. It's looking good. Tiers will be more readily available, and will be really used to get your liquidity in and out of the game in terms of buying and selling assets on secondary markets. But yeah, this is a video I wanted you to have a quick sneak peek at. So if you're going to hear some inspiring monologue and soundtrack, go and check out these latest videos on their Twitter. And yeah, scrolling through, they do have a few of these I'd actually missed, so it's worth having scanned down their profile and finding the videos. They're good. Also, you can probably find them on the Discord as well. I haven't jumped in there for a little while, which is now on FGL, as a reminder, not on the old Machiavellic server. So if you're not a member of the FGL Discord and you need a link, then hit me up on Fluid Pool Discord, and I'll get you an invite. Other things to look out for. Well, maybe one that we are related to. So Coinector is the latest launch pad on Cardano, and they have now launched several projects through their launchpad. So launchpad is where projects who have or are building on blockchain will come and launch their token and have a sort of initial distribution and fair sale of that first supply of their token through a launchpad platform. They can either build the technology themselves, like say SundaeSwap did, or they can come to a service provider like Coinector and launch their project through here. Let's launch their token through here. So in the past, we've had Cardano Casino, Banana Clips, Coinector, which is the one that Fluid Pool was a member of their ISPO, their FISO, Fair Initial Stake Pool offering. And Nuvola Digital was a very successful deep-in project that's launched on Cardano, and that was worth getting involved in that. And at the moment, they've got two that are upcoming, Playfix and Realm of Titans. I haven't looked into these, haven't done any due diligence on them whatsoever. But as a holder of Coinector tokens or participants in their initial stake pool offering, you do have sort of preferential rights in terms of access to some of these projects that will be launching on Coinector. So do always, it's worth keeping an eye on these launchpad platforms like Connector to see what's coming up, where you may be able to get in on an early token sale or something like that. Again, you got to do your due diligence on each of these because some do well, some won't, or most won't. But there we go. While we are looking at Coinector, I did want to check out. So this was the Fair Initial Stake Pool offering page. We've got the calculator here to see what your rewards would be if you staked to Fluid Pool over the past 6 months, year. You can come put your staked address into here, or the receive address from your wallet that is staked to Fluid Pool. Put it into here, and you'll give you an estimate on the Coinector rewards that you are due. They still haven't created the token distribution mechanism, but it is getting closer. So I'm hoping to see in the next month or two that we can actually come and claim the rewards from here, and then we can start using them in the wider ecosystem. So let's have a quick look at our favorite Cardano native token explorer, marketplace explorer, and Coinector on the first page. No, it doesn't look like it is. Let's have a quick. That tool have been through a few upgrades recently, and their homepage is much more informative, much more dry, much in line with other explorers, marketplace explorers. It's okay. I'm not massively enamored, but not disappointed either. It's fine. Does the job. And you can see here that the CNCT token has been on a downward ramp for a good while, and that's since their very successful launch, really. So this is when we were running the initial stake pool offering. So we were looking like it was going to be. Sorry, it wasn't that far back. It must have been that's 24. So back here, so the price probably hasn't changed too much from what we were expecting as returns, but it is far down from its all-time highs. And but now they've got projects launching on them, they'll hopefully gain some traction, and we'll start to see some price action up here. Obviously, we don't have our hands on the initial stake pool offering token distribution yet, so it's neither here nor there. If it does start to go up, though, that'll be just we want to keep an eye on because you are due those tokens as part of the FISO. Cool. I've got a note to look at their Discord channel here, so let me just have a quick scan of that. Can I get into Discord from the browser? Probably not logged in. No, I'm not. Okay. Get my app up. Um, mm, mm. Is the same as well. Try the next one. I don't know. Yeah. So on the Coinector Discord server, can I zoom in? Yeah, I can. You can see here a video from on Twitter. You can catch up on the latest news from Coinector. And there was something else I wanted to see just around here. So here we got the latest bit of news from their team. Hello, no worries. Your FISO tokens, that's the ones that are related to the initial stake pool offering, are as good as here. So they'll just be wrapping up the code base, potentially available in the next few weeks. And that was on the 30th of June. So hopefully this month even, we should see that token distribution. And the rewards will be out then for having staked with Fluid Pool, which would be great to have.
Awesome. Thanks,
Good. Go on, Paul, sorry.
I said, oh, thank you. That's great.
Cool. So yeah, these are my notes. The other thing that you might want to have another look at, we have looked at in the past, is Atrium. So Atrium is the new platform that is launching to help bring a more or a wider distribution of the ADA that is with stake pools. So instead of letting each individual small stake pool, run itself ragged, trying to market itself and get its name out there, what you can do is seek to gain access to listing on one of Atrium's baskets. And once you're in a basket on Atrium, then anybody that stakes with that basket or puts any ADA towards that basket will boost the stake with your pool. And so your sort of your marketing efforts will then be largely done by Atrium, boosting their staking baskets, which is a significant boon for small pool operators, because marketing is one of the hardest things and alien tool sets for network engineers. And that might be, pigeonholing people, but I think it's a fair assessment, really. So as a demo of Atrium, you can come and play with it now. This is an incentivized testnet as well. So if you are looking for good tools to play about with your wallet, then this is a great way of doing it safely, whilst also being rewarded for your time and effort. So you can join their alpha platform by doing, and to do that, you need to connect to the preview testnet using your Eternal wallet. I did have a wallet in here, but I don't appear to have it on this browser. So let me just see if I've got it available here. Yes, I do. Preview. I'll start sharing again in a second. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. Did need this should have my, so once I've got my preview wallet connected, I can connect to Atrium. This is alpha.atrium.io. And in here, you can set up your profile. You can mint an NFT. You can see some staking baskets or a staking basket to then stake through. And you can browse a platform that is getting ready to launch on mainnet. And all this activity that you do on here and sharing it on Discord and Twitter and so forth will earn you Atrium tokens as a reward. And they'll be distributed at the end of the testnet. He'll also do a nice breakdown of what's in your wallet, show you a sort of different perspective on your wallet portfolio, and all this is sort of funded by test tokens, so test ADA that you can get from the faucet. So if you look back through our Discord server, there'll be links to all the Atrium sign up information, documentation, how to get you started on how to create a preview wallet, how to connect to the Atrium app, how to source tokens from the faucet, and then you can start participating by staking to a basket, staking to a pool within here as well. And so I've currently staked with Apex Pool on the preview network, and I've got a certain amount of my ADA, my test ADA, sent to the staking basket. And the difference between a staking basket and normal staking is that you are effectively sending your ADA into a smart contract. So it's not the native protocol, not the latest layer 1 protocols staking mechanism. It's a new mechanism designed by third parties. This is Peyton from Bloom Pool, who's got a really good video YouTube channel from the early days of Cardano, incentivized testnet, and he has launched this product out of his team. And so you'll send your ADA into the staking basket, and that staking basket will then distribute the stake power to multiple stake pools within that basket. And so eventually what we'll see is baskets that are for maybe decentralized, have a core ethic of decentralization. So it'll pick pools that are only single pool operators, small pools who need to grow. You might be able to pick a charity pool, a charity basket. So it'll stick with pools that have proven giving to charities. And all these sort of criteria and ethics that you might have around choosing your stake can now be applied at a basket level across multiple pools rather than just at a single pool level. And your staking rewards will be the same as if you'd gone for single pool staking. So it's a good thing, but you are trusting a new layer of technology that could be prone to bugs, have slight obfuscation in terms of data transparency, but ultimately a very healthy thing for the ecosystem. And this is the direction that staking needs to take, because there's not there are too many pools running for the parameters that we've got on chain at the moment to be sustainable. And this is one way to try and keep people engaged, network operators engaged in the meantime, which is a crucial part of creating the largest decentralized network, most robust network. So yeah, go and have a play with Atrium's Alpha Testnet if you're looking for some technology to play with for free with no risk, and earn some rewards as well. Cool.
You've obviously touched on rewards, Jonathan, as well. And obviously, the way I look at it, there isn't the rewards at the moment in Cardano to put, large amounts of money into it. Whereas you look at obviously other ecosystems like Solano, you have that opportunity. So yeah, anything like this would be a welcome difference.
Yeah, for that certainly for the staking layer, this would be a good thing to add. Of course, there are lots of opportunities within Cardano for earning higher yield, but they do all come with a bit more risk. And so in my perspective, from when I'm looking at my portfolio, my investment strategies, I'd be thinking, okay, first off, it's layer 1 risk. What am I willing to be exposed to in terms of, Bitcoin network is been around the longest. It's the most distributed, got the most operators running it, really robust. You've got Ethereum, which is the largest volume with smart contract functionality, but has got issues with its staking mechanism and allegations of centralization within its decision making and core infrastructure. And then you've got Solana, like you mentioned, which is got all the attention, all the excitement happening at the moment, but is a chain that crashes a lot and has an awful lot of VC money in it, who will want that money back out at some point. And yeah, uptime is an important metric in any chain. And then you've got Cardano, which to me is less exciting and maybe not got all that same pump and fervor as the other chains, coolest new chains that have, but it has been around as long almost as Ethereum and has smart contracts, third generation smart contracts platform and native staking compared to Ethereum, and has had 1,500 days of uptime, zero downtime, no lack of loss of performance on the chain for more than a few minutes here and there, where we've had no hacks, no breaks, which is an incredible performance record. And so I consider that an important part of my metric. And when I'm choosing where to put large amounts of investment, because that's what we're looking to do. And so do bear in mind that layer one decision, as well as obviously the apps and the staking mechanisms that you're getting involved with at lower levels on those, or higher levels on those chains. So I like to stay within the kind of ecosystem wherever I can, and I do appreciate technology advantages from other chains, but they tend to be with when I look at Polkadot or Algorand or Ergo, I really like those chains compared to the likes of Solana and Ton and Tron, and these guys all have their own advantages and disadvantages. But yeah, these are ones I like. And if you are looking for all that stability with some yield opportunities, then Cardano does have them. And for example, one we've looked at last couple of weeks is staking pairs, and in fact I'll touch on that in a second. It's 11 o'clock today, so I do need to sign off fairly soon. But I'll just rattle through these last few bits, and then show you that stable coin opportunity at the end, because we actually went through some yield farming with it in a workshop. So one other thing that launched this week is Optim Finance's OADA. So they had their synthetic ADA launch. So it's like a stable coin of ADA. So it's pegged to ADA. And within this new ecosystem that they're building up, you can actually stake in there and earn a higher rate of return. So if you swap your ADA for OADA and participate in their ecosystem, then all within the Cardano network still. So you've got that same layer one security and stability, but it is smart contract based. So you've got an additional layer of risk there. The Optim Finance guys are great developers, and we've been using their products for 18 months now. And they're the first epoch, if you got in on that SOADA, staking OADA, you'll be getting 10.5% APR, which is a much higher rate of return than native ADA staking. So instead of the sort of 3.2% you're getting from ADA at the moment, you could stake OADA and get 10.5%. This is at this first. So the first epoch was 11.1, I think it was. The second epoch is now 10.5. So it's scaling down as more comes into it, more players come into it. But yeah, that's one to look at as an interesting, exciting alternative to just native staking. This staking mechanism is very good, and again, very little risk, other than maybe smart contract risk through the mechanism they're building. And the way they're doing it is that everybody that's obviously swapping ADA for OADA is being given a token that the Optim Finance team have created, and they are holding all that ADA, which they are then using to stake and participate in other earning mechanisms that will earn the higher yield on the OADA. And then the staking ADA is where you actually get to reap those staking the OADA, sorry, so you actually get to reap those rewards. So it's quite a complex ecosystem to get your head around to start with, and there's much more to come. But that's one aspect of it, pure staking. The other feature that launched this week from them was Epoch Stake Auction, and so this is particularly of interest if you are looking to gain ADA staking power for an epoch. So if you are looking to really boost your voting capacity in Project Catalyst, for example, when the snapshot is taken, if you could come to this epoch stake auction, you can bid to accrue that voting stake power for that epoch, for the next epoch. So effectively, there's now an auction for people bidding for all the ADA that's in this protocol to stake to them so that they can get some rewards. So if you're participating in ISPOs or in Project Catalyst or in other DAO votes, and you need to accrue a large amount of ADA for a period of or a stake for a period of time, short period of time, this could be a way to do it. So at the moment, you could come in and look to gain 250,000 ADA to be staked to wherever you choose. So, for example, I could say I'm going to pay for 250,000 ADA to be staked to Fluid Pool for the next epoch, and for that I will be paying a 3.9% APR equivalent. So it'll cost me 133 ADA to put a bid on. Well, that's how much my bid is worth to then get 250. And obviously I could bid more, which would make me more likely to win it. And I can change the sort of portion amount of I'm willing to bid if I do it with a limit order. So the market order is just at the basic market rate, and they do have an order book that normally shows in here. I'm not quite sure why it's not. I guess because I'm not connected. Perhaps yeah, I am connected. So but anyway, it's very new still. So if I look at limit order, I can say I want to get hold of 650,000 ADA, which will bring the stake pool up above a million again, and I'm willing to forego, say, 4%, then that would cost me 4% APR. That would cost me 356 ADA for one epoch. And so you can get an idea of how people coming in and bidding at pressured times. So when the Catalyst vote is going on, people want that ADA to boost their chances of the proposals that they have in or are interested in getting successfully through the voting stage. Then they could come and bid for a whole load of ADA and paying a relatively small amount of ADA for it. But the ADA that obviously they're paying to participate is then going back into the Optim Finance ecosystem, which is then boosting the amount of equity and capital in this platform that can be used to reward stakers. So then the stake OADA interest rate will go up accordingly. And so they're creating this sort of flywheel effect of drawing people in for various reasons, accruing more ADA and using that ADA to gain more power and influence on the ecosystem. So it's a powerful system that's full of really bright, innovative ideas, and we'll just see how it plays out over the next few months in terms of success of that. But certainly, yeah, their initial staking OADA rewards are really excellent. Cool. The last bit of news.
Just a quick one on this, Jonathan. What you've got up is this every epoch you can go into this opportunity, or is it once a year?
Yeah, so you can pull in and out per epoch. Yeah, so it's all liquid, a little bit like the native staking. So if you want to um come in and stake for 4 epochs, for 6, 8, even just for one, you can come in, swap your ADA for OADA, stake that OADA, and you'll be earning that higher rate of return for that epoch. And as long as you leave it in there, it'll keep earning rewards at whatever. And this is a variable rate, so it'll change over time. Um, but initially, the earlier, you know, it's probably going to be these higher rates of interest, which will diminish down over time. Um, but yeah, interesting ecosystem to participate in, and you can do that with a portion of your ADA or a chunk of it, whatever you want to do. So interesting. Let me know if you do participate. I put 1,500 ADA into it to have a play, keep an eye on it because I like what they're doing. But let's see how that turns out for me, and I can keep you updated. Cool. And then the last bit of news is MinSwap, the largest liquidity DEX on Cardano, has released version 2 of their DEX, which looks really slick. I like it a lot. So, yeah, I'm on preview on it. I think that's not going to work. Oh no, let me jump back to mainnet. And so on MinSwap, you can carry out your trades, and I've now got some handy sort of tooltips on what's new in the platform. So they've got more complex order types that you can place with them, stop orders, uh, order cancels, other. So if you wanted to, if the price rises above this, I want you to cancel the buy order, or cancel the sell order and set a new one. You can do things like that. You've also got partial fills. So you might want to sell a portion of your position, things like that, which is very cool, very nice to see. And even more advanced ones are here too as well, which I haven't delved into, but that's some really powerful trading tools now available within MinSwap. Their UI is slick, looking really good. You've got the basic or the pro with the line chart again. Looks like their token has had a nice bump the back of their release. And of course, MinSwap's got liquidity provision and yield farming as well. And so you can stake through here, trade through here, do all. It's all looking really nice. And they've got more powerful features within their zaps as well. So if you were already yield farming, then they've got some auto migration tools, which work smoothly for me. You can also zap out. So if you've got liquidity in a token pair, you can extract the ADA and the token out into just the token if you wanted to, which is a cool addition. Yeah, looking really good. So do check out MinSwap, the latest features if you haven't yet. And then the final opportunity we were looking at, I think I'm the right wallet. So if I connect from here, internal, I can jump into and from farming. And what I did was on a previous call, I actually took 20 ADA and 15 USD. I think it was the can't actually remember what I did now. Which pool I was in. So actually, I need to filter for pools I'm in as well. Staked only. So yeah, it was the USDM JED. That's right. So I got hold of I think it was 15 JED and 20 USDM, and staked it to this pool, because it's got 26.3% APR yield at the moment, and it's been like that for a good little while now as well. So in this stake pool, I've got USDM, which is a fiat-backed stablecoin, and I've got JED, which is an algorithmic-backed stablecoin. Both are pegged to the dollar, so I know that the balance I put in, even if there are swaps between those pairs and the volume of either of those tokens adjusts, essentially both of them are redeemable for $1 anyway. So it's very low risk in comparison if you're happy to be correlated to the price of the dollar as the reserve currency. And then on top of that, you're earning 26% APR. So this I thought was a very good deal and show an example of nice, secure, stable ways of yield farming if you're in a fiat mindset still. And so it's been on for I think it was 2 weeks ago, so that's maybe 3 or 4 epochs, and we have accrued 13.3 min tokens of rewards and 0.28 ADA, which will be equivalent to the APR, 26% APR of the total balance in the pool, which actually we can see on liquidity page now, I believe. Sorry, I think liquidity. No, either hold on, this one. So we've got 19 JED and 15 USDM, and effectively 1 ADA in rewards from that. So the total value is 90 ADAs worth of tokens in this pool, and in the last 3 or 4 epochs, I've earned 0.96 ADA yield. So yeah, the figures are working. Stick with that, and it'll hit that 26% APR over a year, which is a great return. If it maintains, obviously that's obviously question mark. But if you're looking at higher yield opportunities with lower levels of risk when compared with the dollar, then this could be a great one to have a look at. So I'll keep this running, and we can keep an eye on it over time, and you can get an idea for the sort of returns you might see from participating. But yeah, well, thanks for joining the call. You got any last questions, Paul? You think you're the only one here? Or shall I wrap up?
It's great, Jonathan. Thanks very much. Yeah, I'm struggling now with obviously I need some sleep.
The only hours for you, yeah, you're hardcore. Well, thanks for joining, and be back on next week by the end of it, doing a special session in Lucas Crypto Hour, and then following on, Luca was having a regular hour from the IAW, so International Academy of Wealth, which I will be joining each Friday morning now. So I won't be starting this Cardano Q&A probably until 9 UTC or 10 UK time each week, rather than the sort of 9:15 UK time we were doing before. But thanks for joining, everyone, and I'll see you all